enemy, initially weakened their numbers and loosened their formation. 2. The engine, composed of cavalry and chariot, that were capped in iron. This was used to cause shock and awe, therefore breaking enemy formations for ground assaults. 3. The infantry, composed of ground and foot soldiers. They engaged the enemy in hand-to-hand combat. The world's first military innovators developed weapons built for conquering fortified city-states, battering rams, and siege towers. Assyrian military operations. Ways they would beat a civilization. 1. Surrender. The enemy was invited by messengers to become a part of the Assyrian Empire. 2. Confront in battle. The enemy would leave protection and engage Assyrians in battle. Note, the Assyrians will respect the enemy for fighting. 3. Lay siege. Assyrians would surround city walls and cut off enemy resources and reinforcements. The Assyrians would give no mercy, surrender to, and they committed war atrocities against the unarmed civilians and treated their conquered cities with cruelty. The Assyrian siege. The siege was the alternative most of their opponents chose, so Assyrians became masters of the art of warfare. The siege, step by step. Step 1. Surround your opponent. An effort to cut off supplies and reinforcements. Nothing can get in or out. Step 2. Once surrounded, attacks begin from the battery to inflict hardship upon the occupants and an attempt to breach the walls. Step 3. War of attrition. Each side attempts to wear down or wait out the other. The battle ends in either surrender or abandonment. This tactic was as difficult and costly for both sides. The Assyrians showed those who forced them to lay siege no mercy. The Assyrians utilized psychological warfare, the use of terror and threats to weaken an opponent's will and morale, torture, mutilation and display, and genocide. The Assyrian accomplishments, currency and coinage, a result of Assyria's thriving trade-based economy. Barter was impractical, and a common medium had to be developed. Historical writing. History is written by the winners. The Assyrians' success as conquerors led them to write a wealth of history as they documented their dominance over civilizations. Expression of art through architecture, not about beauty. A life focused on military superiority, which each person dedicated their lives to. Personal expression was state-controlled, and art was expressed through weaponry, fortifications, and celebration of victories. The Assyrian legacy. Assyrians were the first imperialistic ancient civilization. They expanded far beyond their own borders to include Egypt, Syria, and the Middle East, Israel, Jordan, and Palestine. Their successes meant they became the most dominant civilization of their day, which made them a target. Other civilizations modeled themselves after the Assyrians, prompting the first arms race as nations began to compete militaristically to gain an edge. The fall of Assyria. A life dedicated to war weakened the Assyrians and drained them of men, money, and resources. The constant pressure to resupply an army led to internal weakness as dissatisfaction among the people led to dissatisfaction. They became victims of their own successes as civilizations built their armies on the Assyrians and went on to others who perfected their model. End of study guide.